From Out a Darker Sea grew out of a series of residency visits in the northeast of England by us in So Percussion.
We visited the area maybe 4 or 5 times and tried our best to get to know this area of the country that none of us had ever spent time in England. And it was really striking. The first thing when we went in was just kind of how beautiful the landscape was.
We met members of the community, artists from the area, and from the youngest to the oldest members of the community. We learned about everything from the coal and industrial history of the area to what young folks are doing there right now. Over the course of those visits, we designed music, film, artwork that to us seemed to reflect all the complexities of who we met and what we saw in the Northeast.
And we made a work called From Out a Darker Sea that celebrated that area and brought our perspective to what that part of the country was about.
So we are here in the middle of the From Out a Darker Sea art installation. The installation includes 4 video stations of the 4 chapters of the piece. So in the performance, they're played start to finish, back to back, but in the installation, the audience can come in, enjoy the space, and then go up and have sort of an individual experience with one movement at a time.
One of the fascinating things about experiencing From Out a Darker Sea as a gallery installation is the ability that you have to go from one work of art to another in a non-linear way.
It's much less about where you start and where you end. It's much more about, like they did in the Coal Coast, where they immersed themselves into a community they didn't know, and they explored it, and each of them went their own different direction and brought something back, and then we ended up with these pieces in a way that the viewer's experience can mirror that.
Artistically, all of the music from this project was composed by So Percussion. A member of the group would take a lead in composing one of these parts, and then, as we so often do, the other members would throw in ideas about sound and instrumentation. So for us, each of these vignettes, each of these pieces, bears the stamp of our own musical sensibility, launching off of what influenced us about what we saw in the northeast of England, either visually or sonically.
In the course of making the show, we realized that this place, the Coal Coast, these little towns, represent something that's actually pretty universal in the world right now. There are a lot of people in the world whose lives have been uprooted or displaced or overturned by technology, by globalization, by the movement of people from place to place. It's a part of all of our lives. Yes, this show is about this place, but it's also about things that all of us are living through in the 21st century.